Wow, it's already 2024. I can't believe it. This video is my mid-year update for our homeschool. How are things going? I want to talk about some burnout that I hit and what I did to change that. I want to talk about how we like our curriculum. Are we on track for the end of the year and what we've changed up with my kids? So welcome along and we're going to get to it. So thank you for joining us for this video. If you're new, welcome. I am a young homeschooling mom of a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, so just preschool level, but I'm a homeschool graduate myself. So while I am new to teaching, I feel like I have some experience in the world of homeschool. Like I said before, this is our mid-year update. I just kind of want to walk you through a few things. I did make some notes, so if I glance down, forgive me for that. I just wanted to make sure I hit the things that I meant to. So burnout. I started hitting burnout this year, and we had to change something up. So for us, we're in preschool. We're not doing a ton, but I've been doing it for the last year and a half, maybe, with my older daughter. And I really just didn't stop. We didn't stop during the summer. We didn't take any breaks. It was little enough, and she was enjoying it. She's learning to read, so I didn't really want to stop and have her go backwards in that. And so we kind of just continued on, and we both enjoyed it. I love it. She loved it. But I noticed this year, around October, I would think, I started getting really easily frustrated, really fed up. She was kind of getting fed up because I was getting fed up. I wasn't enjoying it, and I noticed that something probably should change. So I have scheduled in breaks. Now, my plan is, and I knew that my plan was, to do year-round homeschooling. So we're not going to take the summer off for 3 months. We're not going to do our traditional breaks that you follow like the school year. Instead, I'm going to be doing it year-round, and then every 3 months, I plan to take 2 to 3 weeks off at the end of every 3 months. So that's every 8 to 9 weeks, we'll take a 2-week chunk. And I'm trying to line those up so that that 2-week chunk is over Christmas and New Year's and stuff. But I really hadn't implemented that. I thought, you know what, we're doing little enough. I'll start that when we actually start heavy school, first grade, kindergarten, whatever grade I wanted to start that. And that was a bad decision. I should have started that sooner. So I took 2 weeks off, even though it wasn't at the proper time, and we've started implementing that. So end of October, I took those 2 weeks off, and it was a good decision. It was good for me to get a break. It was good for them to get a break, for me to just not have that pressure and that constant every morning, and it really helped. And then our next break was over Christmas, which we just finished. So this year is the end of that break as well. And then I will take a full month off during the summer because I feel like with all the curriculum changes, I'm going to need to be doing some work to get our school year set up for the following year. And I don't mind a little bit of a break for whatever we do. I feel like the schedule is going to work well for us because we do travel several times during the year. We live quite a ways from our family, and we drive and visit once every 3 months. So I think this 2-week gap is going to work well. And if it doesn't line up perfectly over the 2 weeks that I've scheduled in, that's okay. If we travel a different week, I'll just take 1 week off at the end of the 3 months. But I want to get at least 2 weeks of break into every 3 months for myself, for my kids, and to make that enjoyable, to be able to reassess, to change anything that I need to change, and just for my health of mind. So that has seemed to work. I don't feel as just frustrated when I sit down at the table. I feel like we're enjoying it again. So we're going to keep that process. So if you are dealing with burnout, try something different. It's not worth it. Enjoy your homeschool. Don't hate it. So that was my first kind of change that we ran up to this year. Next, curriculum, I guess. What are we doing? Do we like it? Are we on track to finish by the end of my planned school year, which will be end of June? I plan to go through June and take let me think about that. No, I think it's end of May. I plan to take June off and start back up in July. So are we on track, and what have we changed? So I'm going to kind of run through the few things we're doing. We are in preschool, so there's not a lot, but there are a few things. We did do a Christmas unit this year. That's something new for me. And while I liked it, my children just weren't quite old enough for it. So I actually did like things about it, but we really just ended up doing the coloring pages and the calendar countdown that came with it, and really not much else. So I plan to try pulling it out again in a few years and seeing if we like it better with older children, if it works better for us. And I might try a different one next year, see if I can find one that's a little more geared toward preschool. So that was kind of I wouldn't say an entire miss because I didn't dislike the curriculum. And I think, like I said, we'll try it again, but a miss for this year. Just wasn't quite right. We love our devotional routine right now with our kids. I think it works really well. It's short. I have the resources that I want to do with it. And if you're interested in what I do for my devotional time, I'll link a video below sharing the resources that I'm using currently with my young children. So if you have young kids and are looking for kind of something along that line, check that out. And then we're also doing some nature journaling. We do a poetry tea time once a week. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. And we're enjoying that. I would say that's going well. And I mean, there's not really an on track or off track for that, for hitting our goals at the end of the year. So then for individual students, my 3-year-old, I'll kind of just run through hers first because she has less. We're doing preschool with her, so I'm really just learning to learn her alphabet, recognize her letters, and we're not learning to read or anything like that. For math, we're learning counting skills, we're learning comparing numbers, recognizing the numbers, so pretty basic. For her, though, she learned so differently than my older child. My older child is well ahead of herself, picked up her letters so fast, and my younger child hasn't been picking up on them. So I kind of shifted things around for her with her alphabet in particular. What I was doing just wasn't working. So I found a unit study from Where Did You Learn That? And I will link it down below if you want to check it out. Not a unit study, but a study for alphabet. It's called Alphabet Adventures, and it's in 2 parts, and it's very affordable. It's a PDF that you download and print, and this is the kind of the cover for it. And so it's got some books that you read and some songs that you sing, and then she has printable pages for you to practice with just recognizing that alphabet letter. And so far, I would say this is working much better, and my daughter's really enjoying it. And we don't do every activity or every book or every song, but it's really not all that much, and I feel like it's really easy to fit to what you want it to fit. And so I would say that's been a really good change, and I'm actually looking forward to continuing that. We are not anywhere near on track to finishing that by the end of the school year, and that's okay. She's so young. I don't have to finish it. So whatever we don't finish, we'll just kind of keep going after the new school year begins. So I like that change, and I would say that was well worth it. We're also doing preschool math at home with her, and we got to about half before she kind of hit a mind block and she just wasn't progressing. So we took a little bit of a break, and I just did my kids like work pages, so I just pulled out some work pages comparing longer and shorter items, finding the 1s in the page, finding the 2s, counting, really basic. But I do plan to pick this back up here probably when we start up next week. And I might go back a little bit before where we ended. Actually, I might even just start at the beginning and just run through real fast and see if she is past that block at this point. But I do love this, and I really plan to use this with all of my kids. So while we hit a block, I think it's just more that she wasn't developmentally quite there in like being able to recognize where we needed to. She was doing really great up until that point. On track for this, it's hard to say. It really depends. If she passes where we blocked at, then I would say, yeah, we could totally finish. If she's still blocked, then no, and that's okay, because once again, we'll just pick this back up beginning of the next school year. So that's, I think, really it with my preschooler, my 3-year-old preschooler. My 4-year-old preschooler, like I said, she's ahead of herself. So with math in particular, she finished that preschool math at home. She went straight into kindergarten math from that, like a year ago. Finished her kindergarten math well ahead of herself. And I really didn't want to move her into 1st grade because I didn't think she was ready for that. I mean, she might have been able to do it, but I felt like she would miss and wouldn't gain it, and it would probably stress her out and she wouldn't enjoy it. Right now, she's loving it. She was so far ahead. She was doing great, and I wanted to keep that joy of learning, and I wanted to keep her well able to comprehend all the details, not just kind of get by. So we put a pause on the curriculum that we're using, and I got another kindergarten workbook that matched what she'd already learned and how to do that, and she finished that. So we're kind of just in a holding pattern until the end of the year. I don't want to start her in 1st grade math until next year, and she'll still be a level ahead. She'll be doing kindergarten with 1st grade math, so I don't want to go much more. So I found some subtraction and addition color by number worksheets that we're doing, and I just print online, go and find something that seems at her level to refresh her in some of the things that she learned. So do I love the math we've been using? Yes. Did she love it? Yes. She is doing awesome in it. But right now we're just kind of holding, just trying to keep her refreshed on her skills, but not progressing until the next school year. Reading, however, she is, again, flying through what I thought we're doing. We have been doing Logic and English Foundations, and I didn't plan to start level C until next school year, and we're already started level C. And I keep expecting to have to slow down and break these lessons into more days, and she just continues to astonish me by just picking up on it, and no problem. So we will slow down if we need to. I have no problem with that, but as long as she's loving it and picking up on it, we'll just keep going. Yes, I love this curriculum. So I would highly recommend it, and we are definitely going to continue. And I'm definitely going to use it for my next child when she's ready. As far as on time for the next school year, again, this is kind of a hard one. I mean, we're well ahead, I guess I would say, for both my 4-year-old for both her math and this reading, because like I said, I didn't plan to start this level until her next year. So we're well ahead of where we should be. Plenty of time to slow down, plenty of time to just do what we need to with that. But I love it. And then lastly for her, we're doing logic, and hopefully you can see this through the kind of darkened cover, but we're doing building thinking skills, and this is the beginning book 1, and this is geared to ages 3 to 4. So I would say it's maybe a hair below where she's at right now. But we're on time with this. I think we'll have no problem finishing this. She really enjoys it. Like I said, it's not a massive stretch for her. There's a few activities that have been challenging, but I would say overall, it's not real hard, and I think she enjoys that as a result. When we finish this, I do plan to continue with the series because I do like it. And like I said, I think we are on track to really be where we need to be with that. For the rest, we do some coloring, we do some cutting and pasting, little things like that, but nothing that's curriculum based. So that's kind of where we are with our curriculum. And overall, I'm really satisfied with where we're at. I am enjoying it. There are challenges. Some days are hard. I think each mom hits different things that are hard and challenging for her, and that's okay. And it's okay to say it's hard, but it's also good, and I really enjoy it, and it's a good time. My children love the individual time they get with me teaching them one-on-one. Right now, school is still a privilege, and they want to do it. It's still something fun, and I'm trying to keep that as long as possible. So overall, am I happy with where we're at mid-year? Yes, I think we're in a good place. I think I have a good plan as far as what I want to do for their next school year, and I will be sharing that in the future. So if you like these, please like and subscribe. If you want to see further videos, don't forget that. I'm going to be doing, sharing what I have planned for their curriculum in the next, probably spring to early summer. I'll be starting to share some of that. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope that you have a wonderful week.